This is Morten from Inkish. One of the really great things about being at Innovation Days is, of course, one thing is the technology, but the very best thing, in my opinion, is meeting good friends. And Bernd,
Hi.
I have known you for many years, and in the beginning, you didn't know me at all. I was participating in some online learning about web to print in Denmark, and just a person in the audience.
Yeah.
And I was blown away about what you do and what you especially have done for the industry in understanding this technology. And I was just thinking that now we are here maybe 10 years later, and just wondering, when you come to an event like Innovation Days, is this the future?
Probably it will be a part of the future, but you can meet it here. Why? Because now, over these years, I know this event since, I would say, 15 years, something like that. And in the beginning, it was hardware, and now we have the implementation of software. It was always here, but now, since they changed the concept a little bit, now the software is part of a complete deal. And this is important because hardware without software doesn't work. So it's like, you have a body but no blood inside. And so they have now a deeper understanding about all the workflow processes, about also API business and the connectivity into the workflows. And so this is important to see that the old hardware guys understood that. And thanks to, I have to say, HP and Canon, Heidelberg and all these companies, they now bring in also their own recipes on software, but also their partners. Partners like Control S, for example, or Ability here in the back. And they're bringing in some new ideas about how MIS can be, how production planning can be. And you can meet the future, a part of it here.
I think that I can maybe meet even a little bit more of the future if I participate in the Online Print Symposium. Do you think that I'm right in that? Or
definitely.
You should say yes, right?
Thanks. Yeah. It's like how you say in football, 11 meters, something like that. Yeah. No, the point is exactly that's the reason we are doing the Online Print Symposium.
Before you continue, because I want to hear it, I was just thinking, because you spoke, and I don't know if it was deliberately, but when you spoke about the software and the hardware part here, I think that one of the things that really is intriguing to me when I get to the Online Print Symposium is that you also bring people together where it is hardware, software, and business models. Yeah. And I think that that is maybe the real trigger, because all the other things are just, let's say, tools, right?
Yeah. You know, as we met first, it was a PDF time. You had a different job, I think.
Oh yeah.
And so at that time, I was the PDF guy. After that, I looked into workflow and JDF. And after that, I went more and more in the direction of looking at strategies and business models. Because I understood at that point, I'm not so good like the other technical guys, by my understanding, but I'm clever enough to understand the concepts and how to make business out of that. We call that technology assessment, what we are doing. So that we are looking at a piece of software or a piece of hardware, and we are looking at that, how this can develop into a business model. This is my job now. So since years I'm doing that. On the Online Print Symposium, it was always part of a recipe to bring all these together. And the next point was very important, that we also bring companies together. You know, I think it's 8 years ago, Robert Keane, the CEO from Simpress, talked about co-opetition. And Robert was a quite tough businessman before that in the online printing industry. But then they changed their philosophy, they changed their business model, and they said, without suppliers, we are nothing. And nowadays it's normal that also competitors work together, not in the competition in front of a customer, but also in the back they work together to fulfill their promise. And that's cool. And I think the OPS, the Online Print Symposium, by the way, it will be on April 3 and 4 this year in Munich.
Be there, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Be there. Yeah. You can really meet all these people and come together with them. And so I can surely recommend, come and be part of this community, because like the Inkish event, it's a community.
Yeah, precisely.
That's important.
One of the things that I can't help think about with the Online Print Symposium as well is also that, I recognize 1,000% that when you bring these interesting companies and people together, so now it's like hardware, software, business models, and networking. So that adds another layer to that collaborative thing that you were talking about. But I was also thinking that, at, at least for a second, I was thinking about that when you look at some of the people that you have invited as startups, some of them are like large corporates that have become big and have the right resources to develop. But I think it's been great because you have also brought startups that have started almost bootstrapping everything themselves and now become big players in the industry because they had the mindset for it, right? So hardware, software, business models, networking, and mindset. I mean, if you look at those 5 ingredients, what are the most important?
We're not talking too much about technology like hardware. So software is important, but since most of the attendees are on the C level, we are talking about business, we are talking about strategies, we are talking maybe about end products we can give to the customer. And so what we see is, especially at this OPS, that some of the startups are coming back. And this year we have one guy coming back as a speaker, and he's talking about what happened since the last 3 years, since he was on the stage with Gredu and Hoodie Who on the stage.
Will he be there this time again?
Yeah,
because I love that guy.
Johannes Kautz will be there, and believe me, he's a clever guy. I love him because he's really on business, and he's burning for that. Sometimes he's a little bit overwhelming to me, but he's really burning for that, and he made it because he understood. I have to take the connections I can meet here, the network I can meet at OPS, and talk to the people and give them a chance to cooperate with me.
But I was also thinking that he took the personalization of textile to a whole other level, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, with all the requirements you have. I think he underestimated that in the beginning, but he did a good job. And you will see that, by the way, we have all the sweaters from him always for the OPS.
Now I'm getting jealous, but that's great.
I will have one in your size as well.
Is that
because that's our size?
My size is a little bit smaller than yours, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think it's always a pleasure talking to you, and I think that...
May I add another thing?
Yes, you may.
One thing is very important, what we don't see so much here, what I really miss a little bit, we see that on the booth somehow in the corner, we are not really talking about artificial intelligence here. And this is the only thing that I miss. And because yes, they know and they use technology like artificial intelligence, that's what I know, but they are not really talking about that. And this is what I miss. At OPS, for example, you will see that, because this is now the recipe for OPS, that we bring together the new idea of customer centricity. And for that, we need the new model of business mass customization and the new model of the idea how to bring the customer in the middle. We are using AI and create something new in the area of customer.
But it's funny you mentioned that, because when I wrote my editorial for tomorrow's Innovation Days daily, right? I wrote that, I mean, we can come here and meet friends, we can come here and see amazing technology, but this is, of course, a very big difference from OPS and from the non-event, because basically people are here to continue investing in the right technology for producing. And of course, AI is part of that, but I was just thinking that sometimes you can be so intrigued by new technology and forget that basically you have a business that needs to run, right? And I was just thinking maybe that is one of the reasons that maybe this is next time or next time again, where you really start to see the applications for it, right?
Yeah, but this is the point. Shortly before Drupal, one of my clients called me and said, give me advice, what should I buy at Drupal? And I said, if I look into your workflow, if I look into your company, and all my friends in the hardware industry, please forgive me, I said, buy nothing. We have a state of a technology that this has to be fed by AI. Especially if you look in the area of everything what's happened in the area of inkjet. Look at the Canon stuff, the new PageWide stuff, and so on. There is so much on the software side we have to do to feed that engine. These engines are killing offset somehow, and they need to be fed. But if we don't have a right application before it in the front, it's senseless. And so we got to work on this, and we have to develop new recipes. And this is also something what we do on OPS, not as you can't find a recipe over there, but you can find the right partners. And one thing we had last year, we had a young guy from a company called Engage, yeah, and Thiemen, I think it was Thiemen. And Engage is a spin-off from HelloPrint, and they had a problem. They needed a chatbot, but not a chatbot who's always say, sorry, my computer says no. They needed a chatbot who reacts on the customer. And not only by giving a boring answer, more or less going in the direction that you can also stop a process in the production. And let's assume the customer says, oh, I gave you the wrong PDF. Can you stop that? Nowadays we say, it's printed, sorry. This robot, this chatbot can work into the production.
See how far the file is, basically.
Can stop the file, exchange the file on the gang sheet, if you like, and it goes. Yeah? And this is a cool thing. This is one thing how you can see how customer centricity, because the customers in the middle can work. And Mimeo, for example, is using all these technology. I know some other guys using that technology. And this is how this comes together. And just have in mind, it's all about the continuous print feed we need for industrial online print.
But you forgot something.
What?
You forgot something I would never think I could think of saying it. And that is why there's some good things here, and that you should still go to OPS for learning about these types of things. You forgot about that, right? Yeah.
The good thing is that the Hunkeler Innovation Days are every 2 years. And after they changed their promise, I promised that Annie, the CEO from Hunkeler, I will come back every year, every time if they do that here. Because what I like is somehow the privacy here. It's a very eye-to-eye, it's an eye-to-eye level. You can meet the CEOs, you can meet all these guys you want to talk to. And this is somehow similar to OPS. And so I will be here, and definitely I will be in Munich on April 4 and 5, 2025.
3 and 4.
3 and 4.
You said 4 and 5.
4 and 5, that's wrong. 3 and 4, yeah? So see you there. Take care.